What's up? Brad Layden Johnson here, and by request, this is a bodybuilding dictionary video on creatine. Creatine, what it is, how it works, should you use it, etc. First of all, creatine monohydrate, the simplest, most basic one that works, get this one, it's very cheap too, version of creatine. It works by converting inside the muscle cells into a thing called creatine phosphate. Creatine phosphate draws in extra muscle energy, and muscle currency, if you want to call it that, is called ATP. It's a substance that allows the muscles to twitch, and creatine phosphate from the creatine monohydrate makes the muscles able to get more energy, which means more weight, more reps, etc, etc. The muscles can twitch more because they have more energy. It works by, the muscles suck up the creatine phosphate, at the same time they'll take in some extra water as well. That extra water needs to come from your diet, which is why you'll see a lot of make sure you're drinking ample water when you're taking creatine, because that water will go into your muscle cells and you have to make sure you're hydrated for the creatine A to fully work, and B for you to not to be dehydrated in other organs in your body, because your muscle cells are sucking up all this water along with the creatine. In terms of bodybuilding supplements, it is the single bodybuilding supplement, I would say, and many would agree, that definitely works. There's no real debate on whether creatine works. There are some people that it doesn't work with. About 30% of the people that take creatine, it doesn't really do anything for them, but generally it works. It definitely works, and it has, in terms of side effects, it has none. It has no side effects that have been proved to happen. The only two add-ons to that I would add is that when you do a loading phase of creatine, which is what the packets will always tell you to do, to take extra creatine, like you'll take 5 milligrams servings of creatine per day, as opposed to the one that you would usually take on a usual dose, to load and fill the muscles with creatine. People experience bloating, and what that is basically is taking too much. And the way around it is to not do a loading phase. The loading phase is created it does work in getting the muscles saturated with creatine quicker. However, it will happen anyway. If you just take a normal dose, about a month in, the muscle will be completely saturated, and you'll avoid that possible side effect. So just don't load. You'll have more creatine, and you won't have to spend as much, even though creatine's crazy cheap. So just don't load if you want to get around that bloating thing. If not, load. It's up to you. It's not really a big deal either way. The only other one is it's possible it could lead to acne. Now, they don't actually believe it does, but they can see that it leads to something that could possibly lead to acne. That, to me, seems like nothing at all, so don't worry about that. As I stated before, creatine makes you able to twitch muscle fibers more frequently as they have more energy, which translates to everything positive as an athlete or a lifter in the gym. More reps, more weight, better recovery, etc, etc. It also will make the muscles slightly larger as they become saturated with water, and this is really on a really small level, but definitely the area will get bigger, and you'll probably, from the enhanced water retention, put on a little bit of actual weight as well. Some people say you should cycle creatine on and off. I don't think it's entirely necessary. If you are on a small dose of just regular creatine monohydrate, just keep using it. A lot of people just keep using it. I haven't experienced enough of cycling on and off it to say it really has any benefits or any doubts. Whether it's worked for me, I would say yes, it does work. I'm not 100% on it, because I started taking creatine at the same time as I started a bulk, so I would have experienced a massive gain in strength in the gym anyway, just from the fact that I'm eating more food. But I did notice what I believe to have been a disproportionate growth in strength in the gym when I started on the creatine, just taking the 5 milligrams a day, which is, again, the recommended dose. I should probably go into that if I haven't already. They'll tell you to take all kinds of doses, different things have different doses. Generally, the one accepted is 5 milligrams a day. Can be pre-workout, it can be post-workout, there's some debate on that. It can be in the morning, it can be with food. I don't think it matters greatly. Just get you 5 milligrams a day. I take mine in powder form. It's incredibly cheap from Optimum Nutrition. I don't mind plugging them because it's so incredibly cheap. Scoop, water, another scoop, water, shake, 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 and you glug it down. You just stir it, spins it around, just makes a cloudy water which has no real taste. And I take it with the other pill supplements that I take, of which there are quite a few. Anything else on creatine? There are no real side effects. It's possible that you may not be a responder. So what I would say to anyone that's taking creatine, if you're on a bulk or a cut, Do that for a while, and by a while I mean 30 weeks. Sounds like a long time. It really isn't in the world of bodybuilding. Lift for a long time so you can experience how strong you are. You know how things work for you along the same line as along a cut or along a bulk, and then take creatine. And a month later, look at your progress with creatine to see if it really did anything for you. Because whilst it is cheap, there's no reason to take something that might not be doing anything for you and just throwing money to the wind. And if you haven't got a strength base to work with, there's no real point in taking creatine, in my opinion. It's for someone that has built up a decent base of strength, that has been lifting for a while, adds creatine to their supplement stack or to their regular food, and then now they can experience some gains from creatine. Or they might find that they're not really a responder, one of those 30%, and just say, well, I tried creatine doesn't really work for me, and put it away. Then you know, and you could save yourself some money. But whereas if you start using it from the start, it's not really going to do all that much for you at all. Like, we're talking minuscule percentages, you know, compared to just what diet is going to do for you if you start using creatine right off the bat. And you may find that you never actually responded to it, but you use it for the rest of your life and waste all this money on a thing that didn't actually do anything for you. But you'd say to people, oh, it gave me gains, but those are the gains you would have got anyway if you just went to the gym. So what I say to people always is, if you can't train every time your routine says 10 times for 10 weeks and diet every time way your macro says for 10 weeks, then you should leave supplements alone, because you're losing in the gym, you're losing in your diet. If you can't nail those, the tiny percentage that supplements give you on top of that, it should be of no interest to you. It's not going to help because you haven't nailed the basics. Hopefully that's been some help. Bradley@gmail.com. If you have any queries or theories or suggestions or anything, let me know. Other than that, like the video, like my Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and of course subscribe. Peace.